I used to get up and walk away and do stuff, and now I'm lazy as hell. I just sit here. But, hey, Lenny, that was a pretty spiffy picture there that Steve chose. So mine are getting worse. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the virtual comedy show. I'm Brad Tassell, only one of two in the entire world on the earth. There are only two Brad Tassells. 7 billion people, just me and him. Now, does that make us special? No. It means that the millions of young Tassell couples, after having their babies, scrolled through names, and when they came to Brad, they went, I don't think so. So that means we are not very popular at all. But we have stars with very popular names. Steve Goody, everybody, one of our stars. I found 5 Steve Goodies in the United States. So I don't know, Steve, if you know.
One of them's a football coach in North Carolina, if not mistaken.
That's right. My Brad Tassell is a rugby. He runs rugby in New Zealand. Oh. And of course, Patty Vasquez, everybody, though. Patty, is that your name, Patty Vasquez? Patricia? Okay, Patty's not going to talk to me.
So much pressure. Wait, what?
Is Patricia Vasquez your name? What is your name, actually?
My name is Patricia Dora Gabriela Vasquez Bonin.
Yeah, that. So there are millions of those out there. Well, there are thousands of Patricia Vasquez's out there. I mean, that's just a thing. But that name, because your Vasquez is your maiden name. And you use that for entertainment, and you use your married name in life. Right?
No. Hold on. I didn't turn my camera on. No. Well, how much did you want to spend?
See, this is what happens when Brad doesn't write jokes.
All right. Yes.
I'm trying to find you. I'm going to get to you. No, we'll
talk about it later.
You really know?
Well, I'm sorry. What?
Hold on a second. I'm trying to find my camera. Hold on, everybody.
How much? You know what? This is going to be extra long. Where's Patty? Okay.
He was going to change your name, and I talked her out of it.
And I changed my name from Bonin because my brother Michael Bonin was killed by John Wayne Gacy, and I didn't want that to be part of my story. So you're welcome.
Got it. Okay, so Bonin. Well, what's your husband's last name?
That's not for you to know.
Oh, got it. Okay, that's right.
And I don't use it.
But that's the point. You don't want that known, is what I'm saying. Okay.
But it's not. It's also not a name I use. I kept my own name.
Yes, I see that. Okay.
All of them.
So Patty's complicated, everybody. I think that's what we found out.
That's what I thought you should. You really don't want to.
We all must fight for our Patties. We also have a headliner, amazing comedian, and man, a sexy picture. Lenny Schmidt, everybody. Lenny Schmidt. Yes. There are, is it Leonard Schmidt or just Leonard?
It is Leonard Albert Schmidt Jr. Vasquez.
Okay, so that's good. Now, as far as Lenny or Leonard Schmidt, there's a good 10 pages just in the United States of the white pages of Lenny Schmidt. And of course, the fantastic musician Devo Spice, which, man, there has got to be 30 of those out there in the U.S. alone. So by the way, okay, so everybody, I want to talk about this. Yesterday was the Super Bowl. Any Super Bowl fans out there?
Yes,
it was not. It was great to see Kansas City showing up for the last 7 minutes. I thought, man, what a great game. And it was good, though, that Philly won, because I know on this ship alone, it was 80% Philly fans. And if they lost, they'd have murdered everyone on the ship. That's all there's. I am telling you, I have been. Has anybody ever been to a Philly game in Philadelphia? I got beaten into a coma for wearing my high school team shirt. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
Yeah, they're rough there. No. By the way, full disclosure, I watched about 6 minutes of the game and I did not see the halftime show. So I heard the halftime show was amazing if you were over 50 and angry Up With People wasn't invited. See, that's a lot of Up With People fans. Remember Up With People? By the way, Up With People, if you don't remember, I tried to get in Up With People. I auditioned twice to be in Up With People, and then I found out it was a cult. Did you know it's a cult? Mm-hmm. Which is still around today. Up With People is still traveling, doing watered-down pop, rock, and music to spread positive messages that anyone, no matter what color or ethnicity, can act white if they really put their minds to it.
I'm not familiar with it.
That's right. By the way, the last year Up With People did the halftime show, 1986. In 1987, I'm guessing you don't know who the halftime show was.
Mm-hmm.
George Burns and Mickey Rooney.
No.
Yes.
Come on.
George Burns. And George, what a lively show. George Burns was 91, and Mickey Rooney suffering dementia and carrying so many guns, Robert Blake was scared to be around him. That was what a show. The last marching band was 1990, and it was a salute to the Peanuts with a big finale where the Red Baron stabbed Snoopy with an EpiPen. Then good. 1991 started the pop, what we get today, pop era. New Kids on the Block did it in 91, but they still mixed it with like Disney kids songs that they did. And it wasn't until 1993 that it really became only about that. And 93 was Michael Jackson. And he didn't do any kids songs in the show. The kid part was in his house after.
Boom, boom, boom.
He's dead. He can't come back at me.
Is this the kind of material that's going to get you thrown off that boat?
That's right. Yeah, that joke right there. They love Michael Jackson on this boat. I'm telling you right now. So, okay, now let's see if any of these jokes work better than what I just said. Speaking of superstars, and now we're not, Kid Rock, who I believe will be tapped by Trump for Undersecretary of Housing and Urban Development to oversee trailer parks. He walked off the stage this last week during a show. He was doing a surprise guest appearance. He walked off after the audience didn't clap along enough with him. Yes, they didn't. Kid went to pout because that's what Cowboy My Baby does. And the crowd laughed him off the stage, with one audience member saying, I didn't even know who that even was, but I'm amazed to see Dr. Phil and Jane Lynch had a baby 50 years ago. I've seen him lately.
Nice one.
And this is my favorite joke, and it's meaningless. Ed Sheeran, by the way, some people say I look like Ed Sheeran's dad. Ed Sheeran was arrested in India for busking between his shows. He went into the streets of India and started playing when police pulled his guitar and his amp out and took him in for disturbing the peace and ginger vandalitis.
Wow.
Boo.
I just want to let that hang in the air for ginger vandalitis. Nice. How long it took me to come up with that?
All day?
What is that?
From noon to 7 p.m. I sat here from noon to 7 p.m. and that finally came to me. Next Sunday is the SNL 50th anniversary special with appearances by the stars and musicians from every season. There will also be a touching in memoriam for the year that Robert Downey Jr. and Anthony Michael Hall were in the cast. Be very memoriam because it sucked that year. Okay. Well, we didn't know much about them, did we? All right. Hey, you write 20 jokes, 2 are good. Oh, hey, a portrait. This is wild. A portrait of a woman was recently found painted beneath a Picasso painting of his friend who was a sculptor, Mateo Fernandez. It's speculated that Picasso painted over the woman in 1901, a few months after he originally painted her. Through x-rays and scans, they've revealed a ghostly presence of a woman. And even with the naked eye, on the canvas, you can see all 3 eyes and 4 square noses. It's fantastic. Picasso. That's a Picasso joke. Okay. Scientists are saying you'll be better at finding creative solutions to problems and coping and dealing with adversity if you are lemonading. You ever heard that? Lemonading is where in times of adversity you become more playful and positive instead of negative. The only caveat is if you actually say, when you're given lemons, make lemonade, and then you're murdered. So that's good. Okay.
Then you're murdered.
Oh, hey, Lenny, you live in California. Are you okay? Is the house okay?
Yeah, we're fine. We were good. We were close, but we didn't have any major problems. So.
Oh, that's great. Chris Cope, you know Chris Cope, comedian?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were on the ship, and we had to get his wife called him. We are leaving. Get here. He had to fly home, and I think they're okay too. But that was like a block away. It was so bad.
Yeah. My daughter's got evacuated last time I was on the Apex. It was a little freaky.
Gosh. Well, a man in California came home after the wildfires to find a 525-pound male black bear living under his house.
Yep.
Authorities had a hard time luring the bear out, but found out all they needed to do was find porridge that was just right.
Oh, with cocaine.
Oh.
How many people were waiting for cocaine?
Cocaine
You're all waiting for cocaine. I didn't do it. Hey, it's National Marriage Week this week.
Yeah.
How many people are married besides me and Kevin?
Oh.
Patty is married. We know that. Tom, you're married? Okay. That's great. It's National Marriage Week. So, National Marriage Week spokesman Arlene Pelican, I don't know. She released a book called Making Marriage Easier with steps like prioritizing time together and not having any close relationships with the opposite sex. But oddly, the best advice came from her husband, who said, it's best not to say to your wife, this book sucks. Leave that out if she writes a book. All right. Hey, the website Cheapism came out with the 25 cheap or free things to do in New Orleans. Yep. And coming in at number 26, HPV. It's cheap. It's cheap or free. You can get HPV free in New Orleans. Okay. Hey, here's
on this show.
You want the weirdest news ever?
Indeed.
I agreed with the orange skid mark on something. Trump has instructed the Treasury Department to stop making pennies. I believe they are not needed anymore, and they're way too expensive to make. And Trump wants to make sure, after all his policies take effect, that he can take away the last thing Americans have.
Paper straws.
Pennies. Oh yeah, paper straws are going too. You gotta love a guy who makes a executive order affecting 12 people. That was the best.
He said it was because it doesn't work in hot liquid.
That's right. Hey, hot liquid was my porn name. So
I understand he's banning hot liquids too.
Yes, I know, and I got fired from the porn.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder why.
Yes. French President Emmanuel Macron told CNN France is lagging behind in the global artificial intelligence race. When asked how they can catch up, Macron said, more tongue.
Nope.
Sorry for the interference. I muted him.
That's
Carry
right.
on.
I'm skipping the next one because it's really long and it's about Kanye West. Here we go. No, okay. Well, okay. I'll do it fast. Kanye West did well, and there's no punchline, so you really got screwed when you just said do it. Kanye West did what would be the punchline to a joke about Kanye West years ago. He bought a Super Bowl commercial to get people to go to a website where the only thing to buy on the website was a T-shirt with a swastika on it.
Oh, Jesus.
This dude leans in more than a horny ninth grader watching the first season of Game of Thrones. I mean, it's just
Oh yeah.
the right wing has left us no place to go. We used to be able to joke about how racist or how anti-Semitic or homophobic that they could get, right? Then they decided to be that bad in reality. So there's literally no exaggeration they won't meet or surpass with their reality. I would say what's next and do a punchline, but there is no what's next. Elon Musk is literally doing Nazi salutes. Trump is literally telling Palestinians they don't get to go home. Trans people are literally being told not to exist. The only consolation is since we deported every farm worker, there won't be any food. So we're fantastic.
Yay.
And America is great again. See, I had no punchline for that. Okay, anyway, here it is. Now it's time for the joke of the day. Steve,
there's more.
Here
Okay.
for the joke of the day.
I'll be here for the joke of the day.
That's right. And if I remind everybody, I get a list of jokes every day, but it's only the setup, and I refuse to click to see the punchline, so I wrote it myself. And here it is. And By the way, we found out, was it last week or the week before? If you want to pay $20, you can tell a joke. So $20 for a joke. Here we go. Joke of the day. Why did the rabbit rush out at midnight?
Why did the rabbit rush out at midnight?
Oh, by the way, I wrote the premise to this too. This isn't a joke. I wrote this whole joke. Why did the rabbit rush out at midnight? Hair today, gone tomorrow.
Tremendous. Yes, and
Tremendous.
now Brad will send each of you $20.
I do want to say this. This is the best connection I've ever had on a ship.
That's great. That's right. Hey, Brad Tassell, everybody. Clap like Brad Tassell. Yay!